What we left behind still catches light. The ruins look like gold at night. I walk the halls of everything we broke. I touch the walls where all our paintings hung. I breathe the air still thick with all we spoke. The wreckage of a love that died too young. I should've left it all and walked away, but broken things are beautiful in their own way. Beautiful rays scattered on the floor. I keep the pieces of the life I can't restore. Beautiful wreckage, too pretty to erase. I'm living in the ruins of your embrace. The photographs still hang beside my bed, the ones where we still thought that we would last. I can't remove the ghost of what you said. I built a home inside our broken past. They say let go of what no longer serves, but beautiful destruction is all I deserve. Beautiful wreckage scattered on the floor. I keep the pieces of a life I can't restore. Beautiful wreckage, too pretty to erase. I'm living in the ruins of your embrace. Maybe I'm just afraid to clear the dust. Maybe ruins are the only thing I trust. Beautiful wreckage, I can't let it go. I've made a museum of our undertow. Beautiful wreckage, it's all that remains. I call it home and wear it like my name, like my name, like my name. Beautiful wreckage remains. You made the broken feel like coming home. I learned to call the damage my own. I know the way this ends before it starts. I've seen this movie running every night. You leave your fingerprints on all my parts, and somehow wrong keeps feeling like it's right. I've grown so used to hurting, I forgot what standing in the sun without you felt like. Comfortable damage, familiar pain. I'll build a life inside the eye of your storm. You're everything something close to sing. The silence in between your storms feels wrong. I only know myself when I'm in pain. Comfortable damage, familiar pain. I built a life inside the eye of your storm. You're everything that breaks me, yet I stay. Comfortable damage has become my norm. Maybe I'm afraid of what I'd be without the weight of you defining me. Comfortable damage, it's all that I know. I've forgotten how to breathe without the ache. You're the only ruin I call home. Comfortable damage, for your sake. Comfortable, comfortable. This is all I know. I told my mind to let you go last year, but no one told my bones you disappeared. I've cleared your name from every note I kept. I've painted over every wall we shared. I've trained my waking hours while I slept to act like someone who no longer cares. But muscle memory betrays me every time. My hands still reach for you in the dead of night. Bones remember what the mind forgets. They hold the weight of every touch and word. Bones remember all my deepest debts, carrying the love my lips no longer heard. I flinch at songs we played on Sunday drives. I freeze when someone wears your cologne, yeah. My body keeps you living in its archives, long after I convince my mind you're not here. You can't unlearn a person from your skin. The body knows exactly where you've been. Bones remember what the mind forgets. They hold the weight of every touch and word. Bones remember all my deepest debts, carrying the love my lips no longer heard. The mind is just a story we rewrite, but bones keep every truth beneath the light. Bones remember long after it ends. They trace the shape of you in empty rooms. Bones remember they never quite mend. They carry you like flowers carry bloom. blue. Carry blue. My bones don't make a home for you. Carry I've made you wrong so many times by now, and every time I make you wrong again. I know your patterns like I know my flaws. I memorize the damage you repeat. I read the ending and I know the cause, and still I lay my cards down at your feet. I've had this argument with my own mind. The verdict's always you every single time. Favorite mistake, I choose you anyway. I know the cost and still I pay the price. Favorite mistake, you're worth the price I pay. I'd burn the world down just to roll the dice. The ones who know me say I know better. They watch me fall and climb and fall again. I smile and nod and write you one more letter, and walk straight back into the lion's den. Don't pity me for choices that I own. I picked this wreckage, I picked this alone. Favorite mistake, I choose you anyway. I know the cost and still I pay the price. Favorite mistake, you're worth the price I pay. I burn the world down just to roll the dice. That's the cruelest kind of drug I've ever known. I chase the feeling that you give me when you're close. The rush of something burning through my veins. I know it disappears and leaves me like a ghost, but I keep reaching for the high that always fades. One touch and I forget the crash that follows. One look and I ignore a morning breeze. Hello, hi, you lift me off the ground, then leave me lower than I was before. Hello, hi, the sweetest empty sound. I'm flying but I'm rotting at the core. I've tried to find that feeling somewhere else, in crowded rooms and strangers' tired eyes, but nothing hits the way you hit myself. Nobody else can sell me your specific lies. I know they come down like I know my skin. I know I crave the hollow high again. Hollow high, you lift me off the ground, then leave me lower than I was before. Hollow high, the sweetest empty sound. I'm flying but I'm rotting at the core. Maybe I was built for this kind of ache. Maybe hollow is the only high I'll take. Hollow high, I'd rather feel you embrace than feel nothing in a life without your name. Hollow high, I know exactly what's at stake. I choose a crash because the high feels worth the shame. Worth the shame. Worth the shame. Hollow, but I'd call you just the same. I told myself this time would be the last, but here I am with your name on my lips again. I've counted every time I said I'm done. I've thrown away your number, changed my route. I watched 1,000 sunrises alone and talk myself in circles inside out. But cravings don't care much for common sense, and you're the only thing that feels intense. That's it, I swear this is the last. I'll chase the high and deal with what comes after. That's it, I'm burning through my past, trading all my pieces peace for 30 seconds of your laughter. Places you're not at. I fill my days with noise to drown you out. I've almost made it back and then fell flat the moment that I let my guard fall out. They say the first step is admitting it. I've been admitting it, and still I quit. That's it, I swear this is the last. I'll chase the high and deal with what comes after. Last hit, I'm burning through my past, trading all my peace for 30 seconds of your laughter. Damage done to every vein. I know I'll call you last hit once again. Last hit, and I mean it this time through. I'll white knuckle the night until it passes. Last hit, the last thing that I'll do is watch myself fall back into your ashes. Into your ashes. Into your ashes. It's never really the last hit. Never raised your voice or slammed the door. You just quietly took everything I was. You didn't break me with a single blow. You did it slow, like water wearing stone. Each day a little less of me would show, until I looked inside and found I was alone. No bruises I could point to, nothing loud, just pieces of me missing in the crowd. Soft destruction, quiet and complete. You took me apart gently, bit by bit. Soft destruction, subtle and so sweet. I didn't even feel the moment that I quit. I fell apart inside your careful arms. Self-destruction, I see it now so clear. You built a cage so slowly, I called it home. Self-destruction, the quietest kind of fear. You love me into someone I don't know, someone I don't know. Someone I don't know. You love me soft into the dark. I saw the fire from a mile away and walked straight in anyway. I had the chance to leave before the fall. I saw the smoke before the flame was high, but something in your voice became a call, and I chose burning over saying goodbye. I'm not a victim of the life I chose. I picked a match and watched the whole thing grow. Stay and burn, stay and burn. I know exactly what this love will cost. Stay and burn, watch it turn into the most beautiful thing I ever lost. The exits were all open, wide and clear. I mapped them out 100 times before, but every time I almost disappeared, you pulled me back and I forgot the door. Don't tell me that you didn't know the price. I paid it twice and I would pay it twice. Stay and burn, stay and burn. I know exactly what this love will cost. Stay and burn, watch it turn into the most beautiful thing I ever lost. Maybe I deserve the heat I chose. Maybe beautiful was worth a scar. Maybe only broken people know that some fires burn you into who you are. Stay and burn, stay and burn. I make the same mistake 1,000 times. Stay and burn, watch it turn into ashes I still call mine. Still mine, still mine. I'd stay and burn every time. You burn like something beautiful and wrong. I knew the taste was dangerous all along. me dialing your phone. Addicted to the way you make me fall apart. I swallow all the venom like it's something sweet. You've got your fingers tangled deep inside my heart, and I keep coming back to you on bleeding feet. Packed my bags and stood beside the open door. I've written all the reasons I should walk away, but then you say my name and I forget the score. And all my walls come crashing down like every day. Who love me say they barely recognize the person that I've become behind your eyes. Addicted to the way you made me fall apart. I swallow all the venom like it's something sweet. You've got your fingers tangled deep inside my heart, and I keep coming back to you on bleeding feet. Addicted to the ruin, to the beautiful and raw. I've memorized the exit, but I can't recall the door. You're everything that breaks me, everything I saw. Sweet poison in my system, and I'm begging you for more. I had 90 days of almost being free, and you said my name, and that was all it took. I packed your memory in a box downstairs. I learned to sleep without your voice at night. I'd even stop pretending I don't care. I almost had myself convinced I'd be alright. But then you knocked and I forgot the war, forgot the reason I had locked that door. The relapse, here we go again. I traded all my progress for your hand. The relapse, back to where I've been. I broke every promise I had planned. My friends had watched me slowly come alive. They said my eyes look different in the light. They thought I finally learned how to survive. Then you came back and I gave up the fight. I know the cycle like I know my name. I hate myself for loving it the same. the relapse. Here we go again. I traded all my progress for your hands. The relapse, back to where I've been. I broke every promise I had planned. Maybe healing was too quiet for my taste. Maybe chaos has a flavor I can't waste. The relapse.